What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Coming to you with some XCN. Wanted to come and cover the charts on XCN. We're looking at a price of 0.00475. We're down 1.04% today. Nothing much going on with XCN. As we can see that we had some bad news to come from the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. Iran reimposed Strait control over Strait of Hormuz, citing continued U.S. naval blockade. So we've seen a drop pullback here in the crypto market, and XCN has just been consolidating. Want to get over here on the bigger charts, show you what I'm talking about. As you can see right here, we'll start right here on the volume, cumulative volume, the volume CVD. Just basically flat. We pulled back down and we've been flat since around October 19th, 2025. Basically, XCN has not been doing anything. We look at the aggregated spot CVD. We can see this right here. It shows you buying and selling on the spot on XCN. As I pull the chart in here closer, you can see that we had a sell-off, and then we kind of consolidated between buyers and sellers here from October 3rd all the way over to around January the 1st, January the 7th of the new year. And ever since then, we've been doing a sell-off on XCN, and this is people coming in selling their XCN. And if you look at the overall, this is the daily chart. If I draw it down, and you can see it's been selling off for a while. Really been selling off for a while. It looked like right here, where we came down. Let me get it. We came down right here, and we kind of got flat, and it looked like we was gonna make another run, turn this thing around January the 8th, but nope, we came back down again. We're coming back down again. I want to bring that to your attention. Very bearish on XCN right now. If you look at the funding rates, very negative funding rates. Now, usually when you see negative funding rates like this, if you got increase in spot volume, what I just showed you on the chart, you see open interest picking up. You see spot volume, people coming in buying XCN with these negative funding rates. That's a good sign that we're going to reversal. Be a good time to put longs in. But right now, the market is betting on XCN continuing to go down. And right now, it's showing that it's going to drop down further. So, coming to cover the charts here, if you look at this right here, these negative funding rates, these are shorts paying to longs, even though the prices, they're having to pay every 8 hours to these shorts being, because the market is heavily negative funding rates. So if you open shorts and we heavily negative funding rates right here, you end up paying, even though the price is dropping back. It would be better to play if the market, if XCN was set up correct, it would be best to put a long in right now. If we had bullish momentum, a bullish reversal on the market on XCN that we knew it was going to go up, this would be the better trade right here while we're in the negative funding rates to go back up. So you get paid both ways. You get paid from shorts as you went up, because you went against the market, you went up. But right now, you just have shorts paying to longs. Even though you got the price coming out, anybody opening in, bringing in new shorts right now, yeah, they'll get paid from the price going down, but because of being in negative funding rates, they will still pay to the loans. So your return wouldn't be that much. But right now, we're showing a bearish market. We got open interest. Let's look at the open interest on XCM. Right now, it's kind of flat. We did show some open interest back on January the 4th. Kind of went, but we came right back down. We just right here. This is about where I got that line drawn is where we at. So what has to happen next? The market, we just seen Bitcoin. Good news on, before it got shut down again, we had the Strait of Hormuz to open back up. They announced Bitcoin rallied to $76,000, I think it was, or more than that. Let me go back and see. Where did Bitcoin go? 78,000, over $78,000. Now it's pulling back. But look at the price of XCN. It didn't do nothing. It really did not do nothing. So what has to happen for this to move for the price? It has to pull back to an area of support where it can get some open interest to pick up, spot volume to come in here, and we get some positions on longs. The traders see a reversal on this market, and we can get some long positions to come in. Right now, it's negative funding, and that ain't good for XCN. Even your aggregated futures CVD down here, flat, somewhat flat. It came down and just been flat. It's been moving with the price, just basically moving with the price. Usually, if you see like this right here, if we could make lower lows while the price stayed the same or moved up right here on the future CVD, that would show we could see some accumulation coming in over here. This would be picking up. We could see an increase on this. This is spot volume coming in. But this market for XCN is totally, and it's basically kind of neutral on the bid and ask price. This is buyers, sellers coming in. They got set prices, where buyers bid to buy, and the sellers have a certain price to agree to sell to. That's kind of neutral right there. Nothing back over here. But it's just overall bearish. You got to understand that XCN is a crypto. It's not doing a lot, really. They got Goliath that just launched from testnet and it went live. But this project needs to be doing. This XCN needs partnerships. You look over here at Cat Network. This is a fairly newer crypto than XCN, and it's ranked in the top 15 or top 20. XCN is ranked like around 150. I don't know for sure, but somewhere around there. The guys behind this XCN project is really not doing much. They're not coming out letting nobody know about no partnerships. There's been no new partnerships since way back. And people's just losing interest on this project. That's why we see the price continuing to go down. It ain't on retail's fault, because if you don't start seeing, if retail don't see new partnerships, new you study showing us that the project's still alive. If you don't show your customer, you don't show retail that, they're just gonna leave. They're gonna be like, this is a scammable token, and I'm not here to say that XCN is a scammable token. I'm just coming to you with the cold hard truth. I hold XCN, but it do worry me at times to hold something like XCN because you don't see nothing really happening behind the project. Yeah, we just seen Goliath launch, but that's it. That's all they've really done in a long time. And this concerns retail. Just being straight up and honest with you, you got all these partnerships that's coming in with Canton Network. You have all these partnerships coming in with ZBEC, XRP with Ripple. They got all these partnerships. And, you got HBAR down there. You got XLM. All these partnerships, new information, updates, upgrades, but you don't see nothing on XCN. And those that hold this token gets frustrated because you see other cryptos that move, other assets that move, but you never hardly ever see XCN move because there's no. I just showed you on the charts. There is no open interest on the crypto on this project. There's still off. We've had. Let's see. This right here is aggregated spot CVD. This is aggressive buying and selling on XCN. Look where all the aggressive selling. Look, it's all been since it launched on CoinGlass. It's been all aggressive selling. It started out pretty good and it just fell off a cliff. It bounced a couple times here coming down. Not price, but this is areas where the price did bounce, but you had major selling going, then pump back up. And this has been ever since. This started back on November 2024. But it's kind of, I thought one time right here it was cooling off. But no, it said, well, let's go down a little bit more. And I'm calling for it to pull back around right here at 00453. Anything below that, we need to pull back. It might sound crazy to you, but there's support levels that need to be hit. And this is one of them. We need on the 4-hour chart. We need to pull back somewhere, 453, even a little bit further. This right here is a complete area of support. This is where people are willing to buy. The last time, like right back here on January the 1st, when we dropped down to the bottom of this, we rallied all the way up to over 1 penny at 0.013, 1.3 cents. So that's what happens. That's why I'm saying we need to pull back further. We're just sitting here on top of it. We're not pulling back. Let me put that back. It was 453. We need to pull back further to get this. You're coming down in there a little bit, but you need to come on down. There's larger orders that people wanting to buy at down here. And then we could see a rally on XCN. People sold off. They sold off when it was much higher, and they're willing to buy back in down here. But until we pull back, that's what an asset does. That's what a crypto does. It keeps pulling back till it finds major support, and from there it rallies up. And you can see right here, we ain't been able to get it right here at this area, just sitting right here on top of this support zone. It's not happened. So what has to happen? An asset has to pull back further down to pick up a stronger area of support. That's what it takes. It takes strong support. And then as an asset starts to rip up, move up, then the FOMO comes in, and then an asset rallies because on the way up, there's still buying going on. Even those that bought down here, they hit certain resistance levels going up. They get past that, they buy a little bit more because they see the asset continuing up. Now, as it gets up here and gets exhausted, then you see selling pressure coming in. But at some point, we're going to rally, but we need to pull back just a little bit further. So we just had some good news in the market. XCN did not pump. XCN did not pump. Bitcoin went from somewhat around 65,000. It went all the way up to 78,300, 78,400. But XCN didn't do diddly squat. Didn't do nothing. So I hold XCN. I'm in the same, I share the same feelings and emotions as y'all, but I'm telling you the truth. XCN is in a pool of a whole bunch of other alts. It's ranked down below. It ain't in even the top 100. It's lower than that. So XCN is down in a pool in an ocean full of other assets, cryptos. And it's one of those just trying to survive out of this, whatever's to come of this crypto, this digital currency. Will it make it? I don't know. It's the risk we all take. Can it even get in the top 100? Can it get to the top 50? Can it get to the top 10? I don't know. Nobody knows that. I just like to see it move up and get in the top 50, the top 25. But what's on white paper says it's a pretty good project. But, you know, crypto's a risky business, and I'm here to tell you that. Some assets launch and do good. We've seen it many times. We've seen it before. Projects that do really good that be in the top 10 and just fall to zero because the narrative behind it was a lie. And we've seen that. You know, how many people could get hurt by XRP just falling to zero? And so on. There's, H-bar. There's a lot of people hold H-bar. There's a lot of people hold XLM. But no new partnerships, no banks. Speaking of XCN, there's nothing in the headlines on no billboards or nothing. There's nothing with no cards from Visa or anybody else with XCN. And be very careful. A lot of people grab it because it's a cheap token and you can accumulate a lot more, and the hope is that it's going to go to $1. And that's a gamble. That's a chance you take in crypto. And I just want to bring that to your attention. But like they look at it, they say, well, man, this token, it can do basically somewhat what XRP can do. And you look over there, XRP is at $1.42. You be like, this token here, it can do what XRP does, and it's under 0.5%. So, man, we got us one right here. What if it goes to $1? And that's the hope that you always hoping for, that you find a gem that you bought for 0.5 penny or less, and it goes to $1. And I do hope it goes to $1. I really do. For everybody that holds XCN, I hope this token gets to $1. But right now, on the fundamental and technical side of it, XCN is really weak. It is really weak. Open interest is down, spot's down, shorts paying the longs. We got a negative funding rate, but it ain't the good side of the negative funding rate. There's no bullish reversal in this market on XCN. I wanted to tell you that. I wanted to bring it to your attention. Don't be fooled by any narratives out there right now that we're looking for this thing to go to 10, 30, 50 cents. Not right now. Not right now. Things need to change in retail on this token for this token to rally. We need some major partnerships to come in here with XCN. We need XCN to announce some major straight up partnerships. Stop with this Goliath and the narrative of, let us see some partnerships. There should have been some partnerships by now. But that's what I got to say. That's all I got to say. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with some more later on to cover on the channel here. We'll come back later with some Z-Back. But right now, we got to endure some more pain before it gets better. So look for a pullback. Because it's had ample opportunity to pump off of the fundamental off the news. It should have pumped when Bitcoin pumped. It should have pumped when XRP pumped, Ethereum, but it didn't. It didn't do nothing. It stayed within the range. It didn't ever move out of the range. So that tells me there's no open interest. There's no new money coming into. And I showed you that on the chart with open interest. There's no new money coming into XCN. If anything else, it's been a major sell-off, and money's rotating out of XCN into other alts. And until the price pulls back, till it looks entertaining to somebody of retail again, this is where we're going to be at. And you can look for a pullback to come in. We should at some point have a rally, a push back up. XCN does it, but each time it gets weaker, as you can see on the chart there. But it's at some point we should rally to see if we can get above that neckline, and if we do, we can get back up to 1 cent. If we can get above the 786 right here and hold that and push up, we could go all the way back up to the top of the range up there, around 1 cent, a little over 1 cent. So, but right now, there's nothing that's come in that's sparking this market on XCN. So like and subscribe. Till next time, God bless you.